Hello everyone, welcome back to video number 4 in the appreciation and gratitude series. Today I'm going to make a little bundle of people. It's going to be my grandparents, my aunt and her kids, and it's going to be a very short one because since I didn't grow up with them 100%, I don't have that same connection as I have with my big brother and my mother. And I can start with my grandparents. My grandfather Eric and my grandmother Gudrun was born way back in 1910s, 20s, I think. Very early in the 1900s. So they were very old school people. We can start with my grandfather, Eric. My middle name is Eric after him, so Eric Johan Valbom, that's me. He was a very strict person, as I can reflect now. He was also a very soft-hearted man inside. He taught me to dig ditches at his summer place by the road, and digging ditches in the summertime ain't fun as a 7 to 13-year-old boy. You want to swim in the lake, and fish and dive and do the fun stuff. No fun until you dig färdigt, until you're done. He also taught me how to shoot air guns, and I can remember every summer when the raspberries were good enough to eat, he always said, sitting out on the porch, "Johan, bring out the air gun. The goddamn birds is eating grandmother's berries again." So I had to go out and shoot a lot of mid-sized birds, like I don't know the English name for it, but in Sweden we call it björktrast. So I shot a lot of them, and today I'm because I'm more awakened and more connected with nature than I was before. He was a hunter also and took care of wounded animals in a shed in the outhouse, close to the garage. So I have a lot of good memories from my grandfather, and this is a very funny thing too, because I'm a Sagittarius. My mom is a Sagittarius. Her sister is a Pisces, and my sister is a Capricorn, and my uncle was a Virgo. But both my grandparents were Scorpios. So we are all, and my father was a Virgo also. So we are autumn and winter children, the whole family, almost. So I just wanted to put it in there because I think it's very funny. And my grandmother was a classical pianist. She played what I think was the opera in Gävle at some point before she met my grandfather and married him and became a housewife. She gave up her piano career, and they got 3 kids, my mother, her sister, and her brother, my uncle. So my aunt is still alive, And my aunt Eva is one of the most deepest persons I have met in my life. You can't tell by the way she looks, but she's deep. Pisces are deep people. And she has 3 kids, 3 boys. Anders, Matthias, and Tony. Tony is the oldest one. Then we have Anders. He's the middle child, and Matthias, he's the youngest boy. Like me, I'm the youngest in my clutch. And oh, it's windy today. The spirits are here. And yeah, I don't want to go sidetracked here, but anyways, I grew up with my mom's side of the family, so they live 1.5 hours from here by car, and so I'm going to visit them soon. Then we have Hans, my aunt's ex-husband, the carpenter, one of the coolest cats in the world. I love you, Hans. I gotta go visit you too, because my aunt lived only 2 houses down from my grandfather's house, and on the other side of the crossing were my grandfather's brother John and his wife Astrid, where I also grew up, and they were the best. I always got Pommac or Champis and Marianne candy, and they always went to the Åland and took the ferry over every summer, and when they came back they have a lot of candy upstairs in the living room, so I went up and snook and took a lot of candy because I love candy. So that part of my upbringing is perfect. Then the school side, as you know in my vlogs, in my life story, I was very bullied, physically and psychologically. So when I went to my grandparents' house in the summers and winters, it was heaven to me. My grandmother's cooking, the best food I ever eaten in my whole life. Old school cooking, a lot of cream, garlic, onions, berries, you name it. The stew was amazing, especially the elk stew, or like we say in Sweden, the moose stew, and casserole was to die for. Because as I told you, my grandfather was a hunter, so there was always meat in the fridge down in the basement. So yeah, and I miss them terribly, because my grandmother and I, we had a special connection. We had a thing about Frankenstein, the old movie, the black and white movie, and we had some fun about it. I think it was about playing chess, because he was cast down over a cliff, down through the ice in a lake, with his maker, I think it was. My grandmother, she always had a smile on her face. I wonder if they still play chess in the afterlife. And yeah, I believe so. So that's our thing. I miss her. My grandfather died around 72 years old, I think he was. He had cancer in her nose. He was a big pipe smoker, then cigarette smoker, and my grandmother died by 4 major heart blobs, and she got Alzheimer's in the late years. So I'm coming to this in my life story later on, so you get the whole picture. But I was doing a geographical escape from my addiction up to Stovik, where they live, and I banged on my aunt's door first to tell them I'm here, and when she opened the door, she was in shock. She was in total shock. Oh my God, Johan, you're so thin and pale, and and your grandmother, she's so old and she can't have you staying. But hey, there's a guest room above the garage. I can stay there. No. You gotta go home, back to Växjö. So the next day we went back. That's the short version. I'm going to tell you all the whole version later. So I think my grandparents are my guardian angels sometimes with my parents, because all 4 of them and me, we have a very special connection. So yeah. And I miss you, Eva. You're still alive, as my sister and Hans and my cousins. I hope to see you soon. I love you unconditionally from the bottom of my heart. I love you. Thank you.